Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Facebook Live. I am very lucky to be joined by the lovely Lisa today, and Lisa has joined us from Purflo, haven't you?
Hi, thank you for having us.
No problem at all. What we're going to do, I'm losing my voice a bit this morning. We're going to be chatting to you about safe sleep. That is what Purflo do, after all. Some amazing products for them, and then we do have a really good giveaway as well for you. So we will be giving away one of their sleep tight baby beds, a colour change thermometer, and also a swaddle to sleep bag, but we will be going through in quite a lot of detail in all of these products as well. So all you need to do, as usual, is comment, ask us questions, and we will pick our winner at the end.
Excellent.
So do you want to just tell us a little bit more about Purflo, if anybody's not heard of the brand before, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. So Purflo actually are about 25 years old now.
Yes, so you've been around a while.
Been around a while, absolutely. And the first product was a breathable mattress. So the whole sort of raison d'etre of Purflo is breathability. Yes. So we still have those core values in the products that we've developed today that I'm going to talk about in a bit more detail shortly. But the breathable mattress was created because a couple of parents just felt frustrated with the mattresses that were available, they felt there was a better way of doing that.
25 years ago, the selection would have been
completely different.
Minimal compared to today.
Absolutely, and it was right at the height of cot death awareness. We had a really early understanding of cot death awareness at that point, but we knew that having a clean space to sleep was really, really important. Yeah. So the brand was born out of that idea. But it's fair to say that the brand has been quiet for a little while, and then about 3 years ago we relaunched. So we looked at the sleep category and we thought, wow, you know, there's some real need in the market for some really great product. Yeah. So we just felt that with our expertise, our background, I'm part of a very big team of people that have worked in baby sleep for over 20 years. And we just felt we could add some real value to the category and really try and resolve some of the pains that today's parents are coming across.
Well, I think we get regularly asked, and obviously on the lives, and we will obviously go through everybody's questions as well later, but that's a hot topic for majority of parents. Safe sleep. Is this safe? What should I be doing?
Yeah, and it's very, I think it can be quite tricky in that, you know, great to kind of Google a few things and have a look around. I think what COVID's done is kind of push people more in that direction.
Yeah, they can't get in to speak to anybody.
Absolutely. So before then, you might have gone to an NCT, you might have gone to an NHS group. Yeah. You had your, access to healthcare professionals. So, real trusted resources around safe sleep. And people just haven't had that human contact. No. And then it's a good place for a lot of stuff, the internet, but then there's also a lot of misinterpretation and incorrect information. Absolutely correct. And I think that's, some statements put out can be quite broad and quite general. Yeah. I think it's really important as a consumer that you're looking for safety standards. Number one, you're looking to see that a brand has really done its homework around the technical aspects of a product. Yeah. And at Purflo, we sort of pride ourselves on that. Most of our products, about 2 years to develop them, and seemingly straightforward products that there are similar versions in the market. But what we're trying to do is to kind of move them on so that the next generation of baby sleeping bag or swaddle or the bed, which we'll come on to talk about shortly.
What I'm going to do quickly is I'm just going to see who's joining us this morning and see if there's any questions first of all. So good morning to Charlotte, good morning to Georgia, good morning Phoebe, Jessica, Marie, Rosina, Holly, again my voice this morning, Natalie, Gemma, she's really looking forward to today's live. Stacey, Claire, Natalie again is excited for it, Rebecca, Louise, Lisa, Joe. Joe's feeling a bit sorry for herself this morning. She's sat watching full of cold. Absolutely. So I hope you're feeling better soon, Joe. Jessica, she just purchased one of these and is so happy with Pushchair Expert. Not sure which of the products you're talking about, Jessica, but I'm sure it's a good one anyway. Been looking at Purflo, says Natalie. So yeah, hopefully we will be able to cover, and any questions anybody has got, please let us know, and I'll pass it over to Lisa to get back to you. Yes, most important topic, Natalie says, yeah. Such an important subject everyone needs to be aware of. Natalie, didn't realise you had been around so long.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's just because I think in the last 2 to 3 years we've really kind of come to the forefront, and we've been doing obviously a lot more work on product development and brand awareness. So that's great.
Fab. I'm just seeing if there's any questions, but yeah, everybody's just saying how important safe sleep is, and Michelle says Lullaby Trust is good for sleep info. Safe sleeping, great topic to cover. Safe sleep is important. Alina says she learns something new every day by watching. Fab. So,
Great.
what shall we look at first?
Shall we start with the sleep type bed?
Yes.
Yeah. So, as I say, very much Purflo. It's all about sort of taking a product or taking a pain that parents are experiencing and trying to make life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So we're very aware that the nests are used. The statistics are 1 in 3 parents will buy and use a nest.
It's quite high, isn't it?
Very high, yeah. But there is some controversy around traditional nests. And the guidelines, we mentioned the Lullaby Trust there, they talk about not using a baby nest overnight, which is absolutely right.
Yeah.
A traditional baby nest is generally a cushion, as you might have in your pillow or on the sofa.
Which you generally would advise not to have around.
You are advised, and we know this. It's kind of ingrained into us as we become parents, and I think instinctively we know we wouldn't leave a baby on a sofa anyway. Yeah. But that's how a nest was sort of traditionally made, and they're great. They're a fantastic place to pop baby, particularly in those first few weeks when you need that, the phone rings or you need to go make a cup of tea, that one cup of tea for the whole day. You need to put baby somewhere safe, so the nest provides you with that. But what happens is, because babies sleep well in them, we know that parents were using them overnight, which is absolutely not advisable. So there are sort of 2 parts to it. The nest issue comes about, the sort of issue is suffocation and overheating. Yep. So because of the cushioning, babies rolling their head into the sidewall obviously can cause overheating, so the back of the head, but also the face. So a baby's
rolling over.
Exactly, the baby's nose is so squidgy and soft that cartilage hasn't developed yet. So if they roll into the sidewall of a nest, there's the sort of the heightened risk, of suffocation. Yeah. So of course we had this knowledge. We did a huge amount of research around how where people were using nests. What was it? Obviously, we knew that the baby's sleeping well, and quite frankly, at 3 a.m, if your baby's sleeping well, you're probably not going to change that environment.
No.
So it's
desperation a lot of the time.
Yeah, I've been there. I have, two babies, and I know what it feels like to get 2 hours sleep in the evening. So you will try anything. But I think the thing was the sort of cracking this category was about trying to find a material that offered that cosy space for baby to sleep, but was safe if they roll into it with their head or if the face were to roll into it. Yeah. So we developed the baby bed, and this is an alternative to a baby nest.
Yeah, so it's not a nest.
Yeah, it's absolutely not a nest. The reason the shape is the same as the nest is because we're basically cocooning the baby. So imagine they've spent 9 months in the womb. They're all cosy. They're all squidged up. It's all yummy, and they get fed when they want. They can sleep when they want. Life's bliss.
No hunger, no cold.
No.
Sounds perfect.
Sounds perfect. I kind of like that life. And then suddenly baby arrives and they're in this very strange environment. So as much as possible, and I talk about this a lot with product, we want to try and replicate that environment. So we have this shape because it sort of contains baby, if you will. It keeps baby nice and cosy. But what you'll see immediately, hopefully from the screen, is that this surface is not squidgy. And I'm putting some real effort. Excuse my
it's firm, isn't it?
It's firm, yeah. It's not a cushioned material. It's actually a sustainable material, and basically it's a very structured material that has to be cut and then pieced, so that it's basically, if you put any pressure on the side of that, it's not going to give way. So it's really, really important. However, we also have this breathable panel around the baby's head. So if they do roll into it, the 3D mesh structure means that the air will flow around the airwaves. Yeah. So that's a really key part. Also that we know that siblings are around, and during our we did a lot of technical development around this product, and we had labs advising us on risk assessment. What are the dangers around a baby sort of sleeping? This is intended to be used in a bedside cot, in a cot. It's a great idea when you're ready to transition baby from crib,
kind
to
of in
a
a Moses
cot.
basket or a crib, into a big space like a cot bed.
Yeah, it sort of really helps that transition.
Yeah.
But we do know that other people use it, that some parents will use it in other ways, and that siblings might be around it. So again, the structure prevents anything from rolling into baby. So baby can't roll out, can't roll into the sides, but nothing can roll into baby either.
Yeah.
The other key thing, when you look at the kind of key pointers around safe sleep advice, and we also look at the Lullaby Trust, of course we do. We follow World Health Organization guidelines, and also, of course, the NHS.
Yep.
Consistently, and this is the global thing, firm, flat, stable base. That's what baby should be sleeping on. And again, you get parents saying, well, that doesn't feel very squidgy, that's not comfortable. That's for a reason. That's a very, very good reason. And again, it's all about keeping baby, keeping those airwaves. If they're on a squidgy surface and they prone, say they roll over, and some babies, brand new babies, can do that.
Can still do that.
Yeah, it's having that firm base means that they're not, their airwaves aren't going to become sort of immersed in the fabric. And it's soft. It's a 3D mesh material that the base is made out of. But because of the structure, it keeps everything flowing freely. But it also has a inserted card, which sits inside here.
Yeah, that can't you? Yeah.
Hear that card? So that is removable, so that if you need to, which you will, wash the product.
Yeah, baby is going to
We can't. It doesn't come up with any guarantees, but yeah, you will need to wash this. And having a spare cover is also quite a good idea.
Yes.
But yeah, the base makes sure the product retains its flat structure.
Yeah.
And some people have said to us, well, can I just take it out because it doesn't feel soft enough? It doesn't feel soft enough for my baby. We would say no, because basically, as well as maintaining a flat surface, even though you might be putting it in a bedside crib or a cot that's got very safe surfaces in there already, you need to keep that base in there because it actually retains the structure of the product.
Yeah, because when I just put it under there, it's not like it just all folds in on itself. It keeps its shape, doesn't it?
It does that, you can see there. It does that because of the base.
Yeah.
The base helps, it keeps it all taut, keeps it all together. So it's really important.
It's a big design feature. It's not just something that's just been put in there.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It also has a carry handle at the bottom because, it's kind of useful to be able to pop this upstairs, downstairs, wherever you're going.
Yeah.
It's under here for a reason. Again, part of the sort of risk assessment is that we don't want a sibling dragging new little Bobby around the floor.
Good idea.
So that sits under there nicely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all the material cover. The print material here is 100% cotton, and then obviously the 3D mesh is a man-made fibre. But it's great. I mean, one of the things that we would say is that this is a fantastic product to use around the house. As you say, the portability is key.
Yeah.
But from birth to 8 months, it really covers off all bases. One thing that we say within our guidelines, just as a sort of a note, as baby gets older, once they can start sitting up unaided, as with any normal carry cot or crib, we advise not to use this overnight unattended. Okay. And that's because these walls are solid and structured. They present a hazard as a sort of a step-up stool out of the cot.
So then could climb out, yeah.
Yeah, and we don't really want free-range children in the middle of the night.
No,
so
do not.
Yeah, so we do 5 designs in this, and we've just won a Made for Mums Gold Award with it.
Congratulations!
It's an Indie Best Buy and numerous other industry awards. We only launched it last March.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting, and it's great that it's really sort of gathering momentum now.
Absolutely. So this is your Scandi Spot, isn't it?
This is Scandi.
The design.
Yep.
We've also
we do a pink, which is
we've got the colours on here.
Gorgeous pink grey marl. We don't do that one. We do a grey, which is here. There we go. That's gorgeous. That's one of our best sellers.
And then I think we've got one actually in it. That one down there, isn't it?
Yes, we do a white, and we do the botanical design.
This is my favourite.
Yes,
I love
it's
the
gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, I know. I particularly like that one. It's very, very nice.
That's lovely. So I'm just going to have a look. There's a lot of people commenting about it. Charlotte said you use a nest inside a next to me, so bedside crib. You could use it in a bedside crib. It's fine to use it for that. Georgia, love that it's all breathable and safe. Just agreeing that babies love to feel have that cosy and snug feeling. Ellie's heard about Purflo and heard lots of great things. Looks very cosy, love the design.
Great.
This looks amazing. I definitely want to swaddle too, Natalie said, so we will cover
talk
swaddling
about that next.
Good point. Natalie said she swaddled her last baby, loved it. Really lovely, hadn't thought about one of these before, said Bethany. Oh, Natalie is due in 2 days, so not long. They're loving that it's had the extra testing, so you know that it's safe. Do you do adult ones? They do a pillow for adults.
Yeah, we do. We'll show you that shortly.
Just not a sleep type baby bed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just got to sleep in your
I can't
own.
imagine the packaging on that.
No. All the space to actually keep it.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of the other brands don't have the breathing material, so it is very different from what you've done. It's very different from what
I think
else you
that's
can
the key thing about it. What we've done here, you know, naturally people compare it to the Nest. I talked about it as an alternative to a Nest, but it's, you know, the materials are different, but also the fact that it has this structure and this firm base.
It's a bed.
It's a bed.
That's what it's called.
It's basically a bed. Exactly.
Yeah. Great sleep safe feature. Don't think others, although I'm new in mums, with lots to learn. Lovely, great to hear from the representative too, and about safe sleep.
Great,
yeah, we love having our experts in just to give us more and more advice, which is brilliant. Great to have something like this overnight as well as in the day. Is it hypoallergenic and machine washable?
It's machine washable. The sustainable filling is hypoallergenic, but cotton is naturally hypoallergenic as well. So
perfect. So yeah, to both of those then. Emily is struggling to find something that baby will settle in and is safe in since outgrown his Moses basket. So maybe the sleep type baby bed would be an option that's going to keep him a little bit more
cocooned.
Cocooned in there, yeah, good word.
Absolutely. And we can also, when we talk about the sleeping bed, what age, sorry, was baby?
She doesn't say. She just says is outgrown his Moses basket, so maybe 3-4 months old, maybe.
Yeah, okay. So sometimes things like a closer fitting sleeping bag, which I can talk about shortly, those sorts of things help. I think the sleep type bed might be worth a go, just to sort of you know, to transition.
If you're moving into, if you've moved in now into a cot bed, it might help. Natalie said, is the cover removable? So yeah, that can all be removed to a washing. They're loving the gorgeous designs. Lots of reviews. You've said baby sleeps well in the baby bed. Is there a bigger size available for when baby grows?
Well,
we're going to get some inside information.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, you know, it took us 2 years to put this product together because of the sort of safety elements. What makes the product safe for a 0 to 8 month old is a barrier above that age. Yeah, it's the solid side. So we have a product in development, but until we are very satisfied with it, I've had 4 different versions so far. Until I get it 100%, then at this moment, no. But I am working on it.
She's trying
my best.
As I think you just answered this question, Samantha's saying, what age can it be used up until? So yeah, like when they're kind of sitting up on their own. Claire says perfect for nights away. So yeah,
absolutely great. Well, particularly when you go to somewhere where there might be a travel cot or a cot there already. Yeah. Actually, babies tend to sleep better when the routine is consistent. So whether that's the same baby sleeping bag they have at home, whether it's the you know, the blackout room, but also this is great because they'll be that's
exactly the same as what they're used to, isn't it?
It's exactly the same. So you can make any space very familiar with the sleep type bed.
Taking their bed with them, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Grandparents' house, just on wherever you're having it at grandparents' house, you can take it with you, being so portable. Loves comfort, looks comfy, love the safety features. Claire didn't know there was spare covers available to buy, so yes. Plus, if you have a spare cover, you can change the patterns.
Exactly.
Can you put it in the washing machine? I think you did answer that, didn't you? It's machine washable. Sinine wishes things like this were around when her kids were little.
Me too.
Yeah, me too, definitely. Absolutely. I must admit, I had a Nest that I used in the daytime.
Yes.
Of a different brand that I used in the daytime. But yeah, being able to transfer that again tonight would have been
game
amazing.
Changer, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Jackie's asked an interesting question. Is it safe to put a liner or like a sheet on it in case of any spurges, or would you suggest just straight on to as it is?
Honestly, I would just use it as it is. Yeah. I think we know that like a muslin might people use if baby's particularly sicky. Yeah. people overlay a muslin. That's fine. If you can get the smaller ones, they're probably better.
Like more the squares rather than a swaddling muslin.
Exactly. I mean, what we don't want is lots of loose sheets and blankets around the baby's airways, particularly. It's just better to keep it free of any objects.
And it's designed to be breathable, so obviously if you're putting layers on top,
Yeah.
you're obstructing that, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Purflo, we've actually got Purflo on as well, and they're
Oh,
actually
hi,
replying
guys.
to some questions for it, so thank you for that, guys. Carry handle is so useful. The different designs yet, so we've shown you the different colours you can get it in. What a great product, would love to win. Oh yeah, Purflo, yes, we've got 5 different colours. Thank you. Does it have a length limit? Samantha says her baby's quite long. I suppose it's just where they physically fit in. But
Yeah, I think one thing to consider, when a baby's born, I describe this as the uncurling process.
Yeah.
So what you tend, and I'm going to talk about it when we come onto the swaddle, it's actually a baby as the weeks go on, the months go on, their legs extend, but typically a baby will sleep in the froggy position. The length is based on the 91st percentile of an 8-month-old baby.
Oh, fab! So it's a high centile then, so it should last.
Oh
most babies,
yeah, absolutely. And what you tend to find is they'll sort of flip up and down there as well. One thing that I used to love watching my babies was flip up and down the Moses basket, as they got a little bit older.
Yeah.
But yes, we do. It does have a maximum height, and I am just grabbing the packaging to tell you what that is.
It's on there.
Yeah, it's so the sleeping area is 71 centimetres.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a nice big size.
Well, so like just using car seat knowledge, but 75 centimetres child is what car seats generally say is an average 12-month-old.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
it's a big size.
Yeah.
And that's the point. It's about the way that it's they used to measure the height of a baby when they're born. Yeah. Probably, well, certainly when I had my children.
I don't
they don't give you that anymore.
No,
because it's kind of like
you used to write it on the little cards.
Yeah. It's more to do, it's more to do with the basic baby's physicality, what they can do, their ability.
Yeah.
I think the thing with this is use this as long as it's safe to use it, and that as soon as they can start sitting up and getting active, then that's the point that you shouldn't.
The sad time, just take it away.
I know, yeah.
Just use it for a next baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Botanical is Shantisa's favourite. How much are these? Sharon has asked.
They're £120.
There you go. So yeah, for the use you're going to get out of them though.
That's it.
It's a good.
I mean, the Independent Magazine newspaper, gave us a best buy for this category. And one of the things that was consistently said about the product was it was a game changer. That the fact that you could use this product in the day, fantastic, safe place to put baby, but also knowing that you could use it. You could sleep assured, basically, because it's safe to use overnight. So you can use it. What other baby product can you use all day long, all day, all night? That it's great. So pounds per use is what we talk about.
Well, yeah. All day, all night, baby's going to sleep in there.
Yeah,
guaranteed sleep.
Yeah.
Right, I think we've covered. Oh, Bethany's just realised that she can have the pregnancy pillows to match.
Yes, she can.
Oh, she has the pregnancy pillow to match, so she hadn't realised it was the same brand as it was a gift. So so now you can get the safe, you can match everything.
Well, you can, and actually our pregnancy pillow, shall we talk about that now?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the pregnancy pillow that we launched again just in last year, this is great. So we've used a lot of the sort of the fabrics that, of course, we've used on the rest of the range. But what's great about this pregnancy pillow is that it makes a fantastic back support, which is really good in those latter days of pregnancy, but also when you sort of sat up with baby as well.
It's multi-use, isn't it?
It's multi-use, and also it's a feeding pillow. So you can coordinate with the other items in the range. Yeah. What makes this so different is that basically it is a cushion that is it has a particular filling which is it's soft but it's supportive. But also around the areas that are going to get hot, so sort of the more intimate areas that you might use it for sleep with, and also when you're feeding, it has a mesh panel as well. So I will quickly show you that.
Yeah.
I should have done here's one I prepared earlier. But basically the idea with the material, as you can see here, oops, there we go, is that basically it is the 3D mesh.
So like we've got in the
So when that's against your body, it's not going to give you the same heat that a solid mass of fabric will.
Because I had a lot of hip problems during pregnancy, so a pillow at night was a massive difference to me and made me a lot comfier.
Me too. Having that sort of been so it's between the knees.
Yeah,
it's great. It's a great way to align your hips and to get you all
support your bum at the side as well. Yeah, absolutely. And then I still had it a long time afterwards and was using it for support while feeding and.
They're great. They're really, really great. So this is one of our best sellers actually. It's such a great range. Great cushion.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
Fab. So just as because we have shown the differences, but Daniel said they've got the Purflo nest, which is different to this one. So yeah,
it is a different product.
The nest is different and it isn't suitable for overnight sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great product for daytime naps, for supervised sleeping, but also tummy time. We haven't talked about that actually.
No, I haven't. No.
Tummy time. I mean, you can start tummy time from sort of essentially day 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And actually, the sooner develop those neck muscles, the sooner that you can start doing that, the better. So the nest is great for that as well.
Yeah.
And likewise, the bed gives you that support.
Fab. Another use for it. Love the spotted design. Lots to learn for grandparents as well. Sunine said, yeah. My little one is due in 7 weeks' time, and she would love it. Becky says, I'm so scared of these things, I still don't trust grow bags, which is interesting because most people these days tend to have grow bags or a sleeping bag.
Sleeping bag, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I think it's just, you have to make an informed decision what you feel comfortable with and what feels right for you. I can talk about some of the sort of safety concerns around baby sleeping bags.
Yeah.
When we talk about that in more detail, but I think the key thing, as I said at the front end of this conversation, whichever brand you purchase your product from, your baby product from, you need to be looking for the safety standards. You need to see that they're there and that sort of that risk assessment's been done, that work's been done.
It's not just been made; it's been put through a test. It's had to work for it.
Yeah, and I think the key thing to remember is that actually it's not just about going getting the thing tested and that's the end of it. Things are constantly tested. The way that we produce product is every single batch is tested, every product is checked, and it goes through a series of checks to make sure that it's safe. We're dealing with tiny babies that don't have the ability of an adult, so it's even more important to make sure that the quality's there and the testing's there.
That's what we like to hear.
Yes,
absolutely. Yes, they're now going on and talking a little bit about the sleeping bags. So shall we move on to sleeping bags and swaddling? Yeah, it does, yeah. Sleeping bags sound much safer, somebody else has just said. Somebody also has said, just going back to the sleep type baby bed, can it be put on an empty adult bed or in travel cot is better? Travel cot is better. We don't recommend co-sleeping. We follow safe sleep advice and the guidance is not to co-sleep with baby. In terms of where to put the bed, we say a firm, flat, stable surface. If you're going to sit next to the product on a bed and supervise, and you're not going to move, then that should be fine in the middle of the bed. I'd probably advise against it, just on a personal, from an experience perspective. I think it's just that moment where the phone rings, somebody knocks at the door, you get distracted. And it's those seconds. Yeah. So if you can sort of get into the habit of following safe sleep guidelines, whatever, always. Yeah. You don't have to think about it. You're tired. You've got enough going on. You don't want to be thinking about that. So I would say travel cot. My 4-week will only sleep on me, or if she's swaddled. So it's great to find safe options for her.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good point. The thing about babies sleeping on you is very, very normal. In many cultures that's still. Widely practiced. So again, within this range of products here, we're giving you solutions to try because swaddling is a really great way of self-soothing. So let me talk about that actually. Yeah. It's a good kind of segue in.
Well done, guys.
Yes, thank you. So with our swaddle, so when we designed this product, we started from base. So, and this is how we design all Purflo products. So I've been sort of doing this for quite a number of years, but very aware that baby sleep advice changes and that parents' pain points also change. So when a baby's first born, as I described earlier, I call it the froggy position, when they're born, they're sort of all curled up because that's the sort of, that's the shape, that the form they've been in for the last 9 months.
Squidged up inside.
So this swaddle, essentially has a reduced length. That means that you are containing the little legs inside there in a safe way, I should say.
Yeah.
So this product
it's not tight, is it?
No, it's not tight. So one thing that you might come across with swaddling is people say, oh, it's not safe. It can cause hip dysplasia. So this product's actually been approved by the International Hip Dysplasia Institute. So that's this logo here. And what they do, they look at products and assess whether or not they are hip healthy.
Yeah.
So what that means is this area around the baby's hips is very loose and it's very free and they can wriggle around and they're all comfy. But because they don't have that void of material at the bottom, they stay cozier. So you're kind of containing the space but in a safe way. The other thing as well to note is that the difference between this and perhaps other examples you might have seen, we had this increased length. So this panel of material takes it, goes down to the baby's belly button, and the reason for that is that when baby's swaddled inside, the material is a little tighter around the tummy area, and we know that can help with colic and reflux as well.
So do have a lot of people messaging or chatting to us in the lives about maybe really struggling with colic, reflux?
So one of the things that health professionals might suggest is that you rub the baby's belly or you read. That's just kind of like what your mum tells you to do.
Yeah.
So this is designed to sort of, we call it the cuddle effect, so that by having that light pressure on the tummy, and particularly useful if the baby's arms are inside, it can really, really help settle baby, and it can go some way to settling baby better. So we've got this reduced length, which is key, and then obviously as the baby uncurls and gets a little longer, then we can...
Look at those cute little leg areas.
They are so cute, aren't they? I mean, oh...
It's like little penguin feet.
It's so sweet. They are uber cute.
Yeah.
So in terms of the length, you've got that length there. Right.
What kind of age does it just? Obviously, it depends on every baby as to.
This is really key. Good question.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you for the prompt. So, we recommend this for a 0 to 4 month old baby.
Okay.
So, the thing to say, generally, this is the case. Babies that are a very low birth weight are not recommended to use any baby sleeping bag or any sort of structured product.
Under what kind of weight?
It's about 3 kilos, so less than 3 kilos basically is considered to be a lower birth weight. So the idea with this product is you can use it from 3 to 7.25 kilograms. But as I say, the most important thing, this neck here has been designed for a baby of between that weight. The baby's weight determines how big the neck is, and it's the neck, it's not the arms. There's a common belief that if the baby's arms can get inside any baby sleeping bag, including the bigger ones, if the baby can get their arms inside, they might slip inside. They won't. It's the head area that is absolutely key.
Because the head is generally the biggest part of the body.
It's the biggest part of the
relation, isn't it? So.
It is, exactly that. But this neck is a very strict size, so it means that baby stays safe. So that's why this works so well, because you can, with the poppers, you can swaddle the baby inside. Okay.
Pop their arms in.
Pop their arms in. You may find that your baby doesn't like to be swaddled. I had 2 babies, one did, one didn't. That's just how they kind of roll.
Yeah. Some just like to be held all the time, whereas others just really want to just have a bit more freedom, don't they?
Absolutely, and one of the things that this particular product allows you to do is to try both options. So you can swaddle, you can pop at both arms, arm openings, sorry, not pop of the arms, and baby can swaddle.
That'd be useful.
Yeah. But then as they get a little older, then the baby's arms, sorry, that's my phone, the baby's arms can pop out at the sides. Yep. So it allows you to try both things.
Yep.
Then the other thing is this mesh panel at the back here. So the good thing about this is that one of the things that I experienced as a parent is that the baby's neck gets rather hot when you're holding them. So whether you're breastfeeding or bottle feeding, it's like a hot spot. So what we've done, we've put this mesh panel across the shoulder area so that they've got airflow there. But also on this version, which is the half tog, you've got the mesh panel under the arms, which you also have on the 2.5, but then you've got this mesh panel here as well. So at the moment with a newborn baby, you basically have the option of swaddling them or putting a blanket over them, and particularly right now, I mean, it's so hot at the minute, isn't it? And a lot of people are probably using things like Muslin Squares. This gives you an option to use that type of thing, but it's a structured product, so it's the same, it's a half tog. So it's the same as using a muslin, essentially. It's the same. In fact,
you can see how thin and soft the material is.
Absolutely, and because of these additional air vents, it just gives that airflow. It's all about keeping this chest area air flowing around there, obviously head uncovered, air around this sort of chesty area, so it's got lots of fresh air. Sorry, these are my talking with my hands again. You know, keeping airflow around the baby is really, really
well, when
key.
they're saying about making sure baby isn't overheating, it's not just feeling their head. Because generally their heads will be quite warm. It's feeling the chest, isn't it?
The back of the neck. And the back of the neck, absolutely right. And you know, I think there is a thing where, you know, checking on baby, and unfortunately, like you and I, you may sleep at night and you might get too hot. I sometimes might get cold. They're all different. They all come out slightly differently. So getting to know your baby and what's right for your baby, what they find hot and what they find cold. It's very normal for them to have cold hands, perfectly normal. And one of the things we often get asked is, you know, why are my baby's hands so cold in the night? They've got this big 2.5 sleeping bag on and they've still got cold fingers. That's because their systems are not working yet. No. So their blood, the fingers and the little toes as well. That's why. The blood is the fingers are the last place that blood gets to. So that's why they don't sort of warm up. But I mentioned about togs. So the half tog, we actually do 2 togs. We keep things super simple because the most important thing.
Because there are a lot on the market, aren't there?
Yeah, and it's unnecessary. I mean, the fact of the matter is, having a summer option and then we call it our all year round option. Actually, I'll just very quickly show you the 2.5 tog swaddle. Basically, the bottom portion. So the difference is with the half tog. You've got that mesh area around the hip. With the 2.5 tog, you've got the mesh area in the underarm, which is really important. You've still got the mesh on the neck, which is still really, really important. But also the bottom portion has a very lightweight quilting on it. And that provides a 2.5 insulation for baby. 2.5 tog. Shall I talk a little bit about tog?
Yeah,
is that
absolutely,
useful?
because although I know togs and temperatures, not necessarily why or what.
Why? Okay. Yeah. So tog is just a way of measuring the thermal resistance of a material. So basically, you will find that for adults, we would use a 10 tog or a 15 tog quilt. Yeah. That's fine. Teeny weeny baby actually doesn't really need anything more than 2.5.
Yeah. Which is why it's obviously not safe to get them too hot and under blankets and duvets until they're much older.
Absolutely. Until their system's working properly, they can kick things off, they're not going to allow themselves effectively to overheat. So tog looks at the way a material, the way that heat sits inside it and how it gets out of it quickly. Okay. So if you've got a very dense material, heat goes inside and it traps. So that's why you'll see some muslin products on the market, because they're an open weave and an open texture. So it's
through.
Yeah, but actually cotton is much, much better because it doesn't shrink, number one, but also it has the same open structure properties as a muslin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and actually we used to have within the safety standard for this product is a European standard. The original standard was the British standard, and when we developed the British standard, we had a shrinkage sort of part of it. So using cotton is really, really, really important because it retains the structure. It doesn't shrink, so your neck doesn't get any smaller. Right, yeah. The shape doesn't move, which is really, really important, particularly as the baby grows.
Yeah, because if it changes shape to what it's been manufactured as, then it's essentially not the same product and it's not safe or tested.
Well, exactly, and the baby's going to grow out of it quicker. Yeah. So you know, if you do tumble dry, which you can, make sure it's low. I mean, air dry as much as you possibly can because it's better for the environment anyway. Yeah. But of course, you know, with babies, you tend to have to turn around things quite quickly.
Yes.
But tog, so we go with a half tog, and then we have this what we call all year round product. The key thing is what the baby is wearing with the product. Mm-hmm. So we supply, with all of our products, a what to wear guide, and that comes inside with the swaddle. It's inside, so it's a leaflet inside. And then when we look at the baby sleeping bags, we actually put it on the package, and you can
I love this.
You can cut it out and you can keep it.
Yeah.
Quite quickly you'll get used to what's right for your baby, but it's just good. It's really handy having that sort of...
Just refer to it as a quick glance, can't you, and then kind of go by what you need.
Yeah, exactly. So the reason, so the half tog we can use from 20 to 27 degrees in a nursery. So remember that the safe sleep advice is between 16 and 20 degrees. It's really tricky to achieve that temperature in most modern homes. We don't have air conditioning typically in this country. So the key things to do if you want to reduce the heat in the nursery is to have the doors open, or of course the sleeping space, because probably at this age they're sleeping with you. Yeah. Have windows open, have ventilation, have airflow, you know, keep that air clean. And yeah, of course, as much as possible, try and keep the air temperature down by not letting rooms overheat in the day that the baby's sleeping in.
Yeah, so like on a warm day, keep the curtains or your blinds drawn, so it's not allowing that
air to get through. Exactly. But also, if it was 27 degrees, all you would need under here is a little nappy.
Yeah,
you
so
know,
nothing else.
Nothing else. No. Exactly. But then when it gets super chilly, so the other extreme, which feels like a million miles away for the winter, then obviously you can layer up with the baby. The key thing is, in our What to Wear guide, we address this by recommending different combinations of clothing. So obviously here we talk about having a little nappy, and then as the temperature cools a little, then you might want to add a little short sleeve vest, and then as it cools further you might want to add a long sleeve product as well as the short sleeve vest. Then you might want to add something with legs, then you might add something with legs and double arms. It's just about making sure that the layering is progressive.
There's an option for every temperature, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely right. So that relates very directly to the room temperature. Also important to say, it doesn't matter what's going on outside. It's what's going on inside the nursery in your room that you need to be looking at, and obviously having a room thermometer helps for that.
That is part of the bundle that you could win today. Do you want to chat about that?
Yeah, sure. I think with regard to the swaddle, just to finish off with the swaddle, so we offer the half tog, which is fantastic right now because we're in the height of summer, and then we have a 2.5 tog, which actually you can use for most of the year in this country, because let's be honest, it's quite unusual for it to be too warm in the evening. Yeah. So you'll see this cute little penguin feet. I love that description at the bottom. Yeah. The reason ours uniquely is shaped like this, it means you can use it in a car seat.
Yes.
So as long as the arms are out, because the harness has to work correctly, so the harness comes over the shoulders and then just pops up underneath here and then secures baby in car seat or pushchair and are ready to go.
Yeah, so you could be at somebody's house maybe, now that we can, you can be having a few drinks or seeing family. Baby's ready to go home, pop them in the car seat already. You just all got to do the dreaded transfer and actually get them in their bed.
Exactly, yeah, and it works like that every time.
Yes. Yeah.
Just
don't wake them up ever.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just very briefly talk about the thermometer, and then we'll move on maybe to the baby sleeping bags. Yeah. So the thermometer, great product because it's intuitive. We love products that kind of don't require an instruction manual and are very, very obvious. We are tired. Baby arrives. We are probably quite tired, the most tired we've ever been in our lives. Yes. So we want something that's going to make it super simple and helpful for us. So what this product does, the unique thing about this is that you plug it in and you can charge it, and then you don't have to have the plug-in overnight.
So you can have it wherever it is best, in the nursery or your bedroom.
Exactly right. And also you mentioned before about going to grandma's house or maybe camping as they get a little bit older. It's great to have that. Yeah. So that USB port is super helpful. But basically what this does, it changes temperature to tell you whether or not your nursery environment is too hot or too cold. So
just at a glance, isn't it?
At a glance, absolutely. And so green, good to go. Orange, it's getting a bit hot. You might want to consider layering down or maybe changing some of the clothing. And then obviously when you get to 27 degrees, wow.
Too hot.
Too hot. Yeah. So super simple product, £26, and you'll get tons of use out of this. Yeah. Great to use.
See, the only thermometer I had in my youngest room was actually on his monitor.
Right.
So once I took the monitor out, I really missed having that. there to then be like, yes, the temperature.
A lot of people talk about this, and the thing about a room, the monitors with temperature on, it's a digital. You're kind of looking for it if it's in there, you know. Whereas this is just like, it's really immediate.
Yeah, you see it at a glance.
And it's a nice soft glow as well, so it provides a very low light level. As much as possible, we talk about not having light in the room, in the overnight sleeping room, trying to keep it as dark as you can. But you also need to go in and check, you know, absolutely, you know, safe sleep guidelines talk about regularly checking on baby, physically checking. Great having a monitor because that alerts you to potential issues, but going and seeing baby, just checking the temperature, handling it, making sure everything's good. So that allows you to kind of pop in, gives you a low light level, allows you to do that, and off you go as quietly as possible because you don't want to wake up that baby.
You don't. Somebody just said something really nice. Thank you, Kim. She said, your aim of perfection is obvious. Love it.
Oh, thank you.
So
thank you very much.
Excited to have my granddaughter. It's getting more real now. Thank you. Nice to know it has to be right before release. I think that's when you were talking about new products potentially.
Yes.
So reassuring knowing it's been tested and how long it's been worked on. Sounds fab. Great work, guys. I love watching you guys because you're so informative. And it's not too much to frazzle you. Yeah, we appreciate that it's a lot of information sometimes. So trying to just give you the basic information that you really need to know and in a way that's easier to understand. How much are the spare covers? I presume that's for the bed. Is that the wrong question to ask?
That's the wrong person. I want to say 45 for spare covers.
So you've got it there as a
spare.
Ish. We'll put the things at the bottom. We'll say an ish. We like to have an ish. You know, we like when we say 11:30 ish.
Yeah.
We'll be with you. Fab.
Okay, so baby sleeping bags then. Oh my gosh, we are so excited about these products. We have just won a gold made for mums. And thank you very much. We are super proud.
Yes,
and
they should be.
Again, we spent 2 years getting this right because we know that it's a very, very busy category and there are lots of people making them. They've been around for, the best part of 20 years.
Yeah. I can't believe they've been around that long.
Yes.
It felt like, because my oldest is 9.
Yeah.
So it kind of felt like it was a relatively
new innovation.
New thing at the time then. But
well, it probably would have been considered quite new back then. And I think the thing is with it, it came to the market. The idea was born out in France. And the Europeans have been using it for 40, 50 years.
Oh, really?
And it was brought to the UK because the parents had been recommended it by a European relative. Yeah. And there's been various versions of them over the years. But what we wanted to do was to look at contemporary parents. What are their, again, I repeat myself, but what are their pain points? What are the things that concern them? What are their frustrations with perhaps some of the products in the market? So how can we give them a really good solution that's going to really add value? And one of the things I think was key is that this confusion around togs. This like, oh my goodness, I go to my wardrobe and I've got like 6
having
togs
to have that many different products and then interchange and work out which one you've got to use on a daily basis.
Absolutely. So we thought we've got to take some complexity out of that. So actually, what we did, we looked at a baby sleeping bag with arms.
I love this idea.
It's very clever, isn't it? I have to say. This is something that basically allows you to adapt this product for use between 14 and 22 degrees. That's enormous. So in the olden days, you might have bought a 2.5, a 3.5, a 1 tog. Yeah. So what we've got here is something that allows a real broad range of nursery temperatures.
Oh, there's lots of well dones on your gold award as well.
Oh, thank you very much. So this, okay, you've used the swaddle. That's been great. Yep. Baby's ready to transition. They've got to the correct weight.
Yes, which is important.
Which is important. So the idea is with the 3 to 9 month size. So again, please use the age category broadly. It's the weight that we want to be looking at. Yeah. So the weight recommendation is 6.25 kilograms to 9 kilograms. So that's the span of age usage, and that's for a baby between 60 and 70 centimetres long. In the olden days, we didn't used to put length on because it wasn't important, but as part of this new European standard, we do. So, what is so fabulous about this product?
They're loving the live today. So many great tips, helpful talk, lots of people saying.
Great, thank you. So we've got a 3 to 9 month here. So some super things. Do you know I didn't tell you about the way to get into a swaddle? Can I just finish off by doing that? Because it's really important.
Yep.
So you will find you will be changing baby rather a lot in those first few weeks. And how handy to have the zip at the bottom part of the product.
Yeah.
So you can simply
not got to take them out to do anything.
Take them out. No, exactly that. So then basically the zip comes all the way to the top and you just unfold it. But it's just a really convenient little feature that I should have mentioned before. Yeah, okay, so the 3 to 9 month, this is our all season. So as I mentioned, you can use this from room temperatures of 14 to 22 degrees by simply layering appropriately underneath, but also removing the arms. So the arms
you can see that one's quite a bit more to it than
exactly.
Than
so it's
ones.
a lot sort of chunkier. But basically the idea is that it's got this lovely quilting and it's nice and sort of padded on the arm area, and then you've got more of a softer material on this part here. But basically the arms are removed and then you just have like a standard baby sleeping bag.
Yeah.
But again, some of the lovely features that we've got on the swaddle, you know, you're still at 3 months old, you've still got that heat spot behind the neck when you're feeding them with your arm, and it's all getting a bit. So even though this is for sort of cooler room temperatures, it's still really key to have that air ventilation around there. Similarly, with the arms, get my hand in there, you've got this mesh panel here which allows airflow away from the chest. So that's great. Another key thing is the zip. So what we have done here is we've got a two-way zip, and the reason we've got a two-way zip is, it's so helpful to be able to change them without taking the whole thing to pieces. But you've got a little hole here, and this is for a car seat, so that the product can sit inside a car seat, and the harness basically comes through here, and you would put the baby in. And I'm going to just badly demonstrate this, but this goes in here, buckle through, and then in the car seat.
Everybody knows who watches our lives knows that we are very passionate about car seat safety. So to have products that enables you to use with your car seat without obstructing anything, still use your harness very safely, is amazing.
Yeah, good. I mean, that is a really key thing. We haven't talked about a winter product. We should maybe come back later in the year, because we've got a fantastic product actually that is specifically designed for keeping baby cozy on the go, that doesn't interfere with the use of the harness. So it works outside of the harness.
Yeah, because it's very tempting for parents to really layer up little ones because they're going to be out and about in their car seat, and then obviously it just makes it dangerous. So.
Yeah, it absolutely does. So this is padded, but it's not. It's basically like a little jumper. It's that kind of level.
It's not like having a padded coat or snowsuit or something on.
Absolutely. So 3 to 9 months is the sort of age range for this, and then of course.
And using the car seat is fab.
Yeah, it's great. Well, we find that some parents go back to work at about 6 months, and it's having that thing where you can drop baby off at grandma's house. Without having to get them up and dressed and all the rest of it. You just scoot them out the car, put them in the car seat, off you go.
Also, you do the rest when they wake up.
Yeah, exactly. They come back all clean and ready to go. And then at night time as well, when you're sort of collecting, you go to a friend's house or whatever, having that convenience.
Just gives you a bit of flexibility to fit in with your lifestyle, doesn't it?
Yeah, and also, I mean, babies love these in the day as well. Just to kind of pop out to the shops, pop baby in the stroller, put them in the sleeping bag, and then and they've got a familiar space.
Yeah.
So the 9 to 18 month size is here, so you can see it's quite a lot longer. So the 9
Somebody said just saying about the guide looks really detailed, and clapping hands would love something like that to make sure everything is right. I presume you have it on your website as well. The guide. So yeah, you can always have a look at the Purflo website if you've not got a particular box to have a look at. And then you could probably take details from there as well.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, the key thing is that, so with this range of products that we're talking about here is our current range. We do have older products in the market that maybe we don't have on our website, but there is information on there about them. So purflo.com, but also give us a follow at Purflo Sleep, because we are regularly posting information about safe sleep, but also we have, I'm great to talk about product. I can talk all day long about product, but we collaborate with experts in routine sleep. So we did a project very recently with a couple of ladies, and both of those will talk about sleep routine, feeding routine, how to create environments that it's conducive to baby sleep. And we, on our YouTube channel as well, we have Jo Tanton, who is our safe sleep expert around routine. So she breaks it down into different age categories.
Yeah.
So that if your baby's six months old, their sleep pattern will be very different to a 3-month-old or a 9-month-old. So there's some really great information. And then of course we
all want our babies to sleep.
We do, absolutely we do. You know, the whole thing is about getting them to sleep but safely.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's tons of information there. So the 9 to 18 month size is for babies between 9 and 11 kilos. So 70 to 80 centimetres long, all the same features that we talked about within the smaller size, nothing changes. I should say as well that the filling is also this DuPont Sorona, which is sustainable, so which is a great, we're trying to move more
and more people looking for that in the products they buy, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah, and as much as possible, if it's safe, that we will use materials that are recycled or sustainable or whatever. So that's basically the sleeping bags. They also come in a half tog as well. So I mentioned the half tog for the swaddle to sleep bag.
So it's the two, isn't it? Half tog, 2.5 tog.
Yeah, half tog and 2.5.
They're just saying makes so much more sense than buying loads of different togs for different times of the year.
You've got
it feels nerve-wracking, know exactly the right decisions with temperature and tog.
I think that's a really good point, and not to be sort of, what we do is provide parents that with products that reassure them. So what we're not here to do is to scare the pants off you.
No.
You know, it's the information that we provide on pack. We don't stick lots and lots and lots of warnings on there. We just give you the warnings that are appropriate to your product that you've purchased, and that we know that you're thinking about. So a lot of the FAQs as well that you'll find on our website, they're things that have come up again and again and again, because the chances are, if you're asking it, another parent has previously asked that question.
Absolutely. And no, we always say in store, no question is a silly question.
Absolutely not.
If you're asking the question, it's because you've got a genuine query. Of course. So if we can help, if Purflo can help with that, that's all the better, and you're not the only one.
Yeah, you're definitely not the only one. Yeah. Okay. So I guess the only other product really to talk about is the Muslin Squares. Yes. So we did a new pack of muslins in the last year.
I love this packaging.
I know, it's so pretty.
It's such a nice gift. Baby showers, or like just a gift to give to new parents. It's just lovely.
Really pretty. So it's a 2-pack, and they are a huge muslin square, which is great because they have so many uses.
Oh yeah. I still use mine today.
I still have them, and my kids are 6.
Yeah.
I don't actually want to part with them. I love them so much.
I bet they're so soft.
They're so soft, and that's the nice thing about a muslin is that the more you wash it, the softer it gets. The softer beautiful.
Somebody's just a quick question, which is probably quite an important one. When does baby start to regulate their own temperature?
It's usually around 12 months.
So is that where I was going to say, we were talking earlier about quilts and things, weren't we?
That's why. So basically, the guidelines are that you shouldn't use a quilt for tog for under 12 months. So at 12 months, you can start using products that are for tog and above. Yeah. I probably wouldn't recommend it. No. There's been some recent research that suggests 18 months is a more appropriate age to start introducing sort of slightly warmer blankets or potentially slightly warmer baby sleeping bags. As a baby gets older, the risks associated with sudden infant death, for example, become less and less and less because they're able to, you know, their bodies are functioning in the way that they can control things. They can control things better. Yeah. I would say, you know, for the first couple of years, really keep the safe sleep. You're doing it anyway. Just keep doing it.
If it's working, yeah.
It's
why change something that's safe and that works?
Exactly. There's no rush. No. You know, there's no rush to.
That's what I said. 12 months. Oh, yeah, you can have a quilt now. Stop sleeping. We're sleeping through the night. As soon as he had a quilt, he stopped. Put him back in his bag. Slept through again. Yeah, yeah. They love that whole cosy feeling of being in a baby sleeping bag. It's so nice. I mean, and I said to you before, I love being in a not a baby sleeping bag, but I love being in a sleeping bag. Made one big enough for yourself.
Yeah, well, I have. Yeah, I did one for me, but nobody else. No. Yeah. So that's it. It's about having, you know, you're doing it. You're doing those guidelines. You're following those guidelines. They're just it'll just come naturally to you. Yeah. It will probably feel a bit weird when you start using a quilt the first time, you know, and
big change.
And the pillow goes in the bed, you know, because pillow, you know, when they get to sort of 18 months-ish is an appropriate time to start using a pillow. Some guidelines say 12 months. Yeah. I would say a bit older. But yeah, it's, yeah. So Muslin Squares.
Sorry,
anyway.
muslin,
Yeah,
back to
no.
muslins.
I got
I
lost in.
distracted you.
No, you didn't. I got lost in my thought there. So great product as you say, Kelly. Great gift idea.
Yeah.
But just so multi-purpose. My goodness, I
Yeah.
had hundreds of these, and they're ace.
I've just given a load to a friend, and they've lasted my youngest, and now I've gone on to last more babies. Yeah, it's brilliant.
So essentially, what's great about them is that you can use them in multiple ways. So a great when you're feeding yourself and you want that sort of discreet cover, great, because it's not going to overheat the baby. It's very, very lightweight. Just sort of tuck it into your shoulder.
Yeah.
Burping cloth. This is why you need one at every portal around the
Yes.
house. Where's the
Save your clothes. You don't have to change 3 times a day.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, swaddling.
Yep.
So the traditional way in which to swaddle. So I think, I mentioned it right at the front end when I was talking about swaddling, that there is this concern that people say, oh, babies are overwrapped. With muslins, it's quite difficult to do that. You would have to...
Because of the material.
Yeah, because of the material. But it has that... it has that open structure, so it has a little bit of give in it, which is why it shrinks.
Yeah.
But it's very sort of easy to wrap them. I used to talk about wrapping up a burrito when I did my demos with muslins, and it does work for some babies. You just basically 1, 2, 3, and then tuck in, and it's great sort of lightweight. But be aware. Every time you fold, and you've got another layer. I talked about Tog before and heat escaping.
It's building up on that, isn't it?
Yeah, just to be careful not to over wrap layer after layer after layer. Perfect example. My niece came out of hospital, and my sister-in-law had swaddled her baby in a fleece blanket.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because she was copying what she'd been advised to do in the hospital, which was swaddling actually with a cellular blanket at the time. Yeah. But the other thing about cellular blanket, great over the top, but that's got air holes in it. And the air holes they do let out the air if it's a single layer, but when they're layered up, heat gets trapped in it. So again, just to be a bit careful about...
Be careful with the material that you're using.
Absolutely, and that's kind of why the swaddle works so well, because...
Don't have to do about it. No, zip them up, tuck their arms in, and they're
off
done.
They go to sleep for 8 hours.
Yes. Absolutely. That's on the label, is it? Yeah.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah.
Somebody said, thanks for this, the most informative company we've had on that I've seen, really helpful. No,
Great
thank
stuff.
you for that lovely feedback. No, it's something we get asked all the time, so Safe Sleep is brilliant to have you on and just chatting about it all.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you. And thank you to everybody for your questions.
They're great questions today, aren't
great
they?
questions.
I did say, I said they're a great bunch that join us every day. Yeah.
It's really important because you guys are in the thick of it now.
Yeah.
So being able to kind of talk to you, get your feedback and understand what you're concerned about, or what's working for you is really super helpful for us as well. We'll go back and in our next product development session we'll be talking about all of this. So thank you.
I'm just seeing if there are any questions about what we were chatting. Muslins are a lifesaver with babies. Yes, Georgia.
They are.
Yes,
you can never have too many.
Burrito baby, laughing face. Laura says her baby seems to break out of a muslin swaddle. She's got a little escapee.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I had a little boy like that.
Yeah. Lots of swaddling demos online. Yeah, you can. There's a YouTube video for everything, I think, isn't there?
Yeah, or a TED Talk, one or the other.
Yeah. I was trying to work out how to fold my mum's headrest in her Volvo car the other day.
So you just went to YouTube.
Yes. YouTube will tell me. And obviously our videos on there, and you've talked about your YouTube videos as well, having things on there.
Yeah, we actually did a lot of what I've talked about today. We did a set of sort of training videos on YouTube. Yeah. So all the detail that I've talked about, you'll find on there as well. If you want to listen back, some of it I do talk quite fast, so I'm sorry if some of it was missed.
I think because it's interactive as well, you do miss bits sometimes if you're focusing on one bit you've said.
Well, also, it's kind of what the baby sleeping bag, if you've got a 2-week-old baby, is just not relevant to you. No. But it suddenly becomes relevant and you think, oh, no, well, that was quite interesting. What were they saying about that?
So it's good to go back to it. Absolutely. Can never get the hang of the traditional swaddle wrap, says Natty. Yeah, absolutely. So that's why having that really helps. We prefer muslins here to bibs. Yep, can tie around while they're weaning and
absolutely.
feed them. Another use for them. Wasn't aware that you can take the arms off the sleeping bag. Yep, it's a fab idea for different temperatures. This live is super. Lots of info for first time mums like my sister. Shantice is saying when she swapped her daughter over to a quilt, she was really nervous about doing it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. Lots to think about on baby sleeping, napping, loving the passion when you're talking about the products, somebody else has said. So much information today, but it's also all really helped. Oh, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Yeah,
so Sharon says she's 56 and she learned a lot today as well.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. Great.
Have we gone through everything?
I believe we
I
have.
think we've done them all. And how long we've been on? Well, it's actually 1:45, so we've been on quite a while.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, we did say that might happen.
We did.
Hey?
Yeah, it was like, 2-hour live today with all the information. But it's obviously been informative, so it's worth it.
Yeah,
definitely.
and useful, which is good.
So, as long as nobody else has any more questions, we will draw our winner.
Yeah, great stuff.
If everybody's happy. So what I'm going to do, as normal, is just scroll through all the comments that we've got on here, and then when you're ready, just give me a thumbs up or a shout.
Okay.
And I will land on our winner.
Okay, all right.
I always make Georgia wait, and she's just.
Should we do like an X Factor build-up thing?
Drum roll.
Stop.
Our winner is Natalie Masul. So congratulations, Natalie.
Great, Natalie.
I'm just going to. Oh, not that. I'm just going to like your comment and reply, just so you know you're our winner. If you want to just message the page, Natalie, with your information, you do get a colour choice on both your baby. I'll get the wrong way.
That we've got the sleep tight baby bed.
Sleep tight baby bed. I was going to say the baby bed first. Sleep tight baby bed, and also your swaddle to sleep bag. And then you've also got your colour change number, so do messages with your information, and we'll get that sent out for you.
Great stuff.
So thank you so much for joining us today, Lisa.
Thank you
It's
so
been
much
really
for having
I've
us.
learnt a lot as well, so
well,
it's not just
me
you
too.
guys.
It's great to get all this feedback, so thank you very much.
No
Thank
problem
you.
at all.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again later in the week. Bye-bye.
Bye.